Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and 2020 just keeps on shocking me. Who would have thought? Who would have thought and put on their bingo card that in 2020 we were going to have a Borat 2 come and save the year? Not me, I'll tell you that. I thought this character was done and dead and you wouldn't be able to bring it back, but Sacha Baron Cohen has. I'm going to break down my review for you, but first, before I do that, I want to give you a warning. I would just go watch this movie without any reviews. Just go see it. I'll tell you when to tune out when I'm going to get to some more of my thoughts. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I would just go in unexpected. I think that's always the best with these types of movies because you don't want to have anything spoiled. And there's a few moments in this. I guess the trailer does sort of spoil some of the best parts, but if you really just like Borat and you want to go in blind and have a fun time, don't go in with huge expectations. It's not the most amazing movie I've ever seen, but I had some good laughs. And in fact, if you really want to experience this movie, you can see the movie on Amazon Prime starting this Friday, October 23rd. But it's also going to be playing in drive-ins. And I'm super excited because I'm going to be hosting a drive-in screening and Borat costume contest this Friday over at the Swap Shop in Tampa, Florida. So if you live in the Florida area, Tampa area, come join us this Friday at the Funland Swap Shop and drive-in. Plenty of spaces for cars. I don't expect it to be sold out. So don't worry about getting tickets in advance. Just show up a little early, and we will be doing an Amazon-sponsored costume contest. The best Borat will win a $1,000 Amazon gift card. That's no joke. So it's worth the drive. Come on out, put on a Borat outfit. I don't care. Wear the bathing suit, the onesie, wear the suit, whatever you want. Come up with a creative Borat costume. The winner will be judged by me. I will help pick the best costume out there before the movie starts, and then you'll be able to sit in the cars and you'll be able to do the best, I guess, closest experience to enjoying it in the theater is watching at the drive-in. So come join us there over at the Swap Shop. Stay tuned for more information. Follow me over here on social media. I'll be reminding people about it. But again, this Friday night at the Swap Shop on Hillsborough Boulevard here in Tampa, Florida. Now, back to the review. Now, look, Borat, right? It's a movie I don't think anyone thought he could do again because it's a character everybody knows. How do you go be Borat when people just be like, oh, yeah, I know you. What's that? What's up with you? So he does a creative idea here. That's at the beginning here. I will share. The whole premise of the movie is that Kazakhstan is upset at him for making an embarrassment out of the country. And everybody knows who Borat is. So the movie is him going back to try and, just save the country's, the view on Kazakhstan. And he realizes people know who he is. So he goes undercover. Borat's going undercover. So it's a meta approach of Sacha Baron Cohen playing a character going as another character. So I have to admit, it's a very clever approach to the sequel. The other thing I will say is it does revolve around his daughter. So the film brings in his daughter, played amazingly, Maria Bakalova. She's like a nobody. She's done some small stuff. Illuminati broke the story of that she was going to be in it. But she was in a film called Transgression. But really not seen in a lot of stuff yet. But mark my words, I think we're going to see more from her. She's fantastic in this movie. Goes toe-to-toe with Sacha Baron Cohen. And just in some of the bits, really knows how to just sit back and play the character and not give in. Give up on the character or laugh. She's very, very good in this movie, I have to say. The two of them are really great. And that's really what the movie is about. Now, I have criticism about the movie. I'm going to break down some of my favorite parts without spoiling them. But I do think my review might set expectations. So if you want to go in blind, if you want to watch it on Prime this weekend, or better yet, join us here in Tampa. I think it's going to be in other drive-ins too, so you can go look it up. Google your local drive-ins and see if anybody else is throwing a costume contest to promote this film. It's a cool way to see it, I think. Go watch it. It's not like this is a cinematic masterpiece where you need to watch it in IMAX. No, watching this movie at a drive-in would be great. Crack the window down a bit. I think you'll hear other people laughing. It will be a good experience. So I do recommend going and checking it out at the drive-in. Support your local drive-ins. Support your theaters too if you can. But that's another video for another day. But friendly warning, now I'm going to get into a little bit about the movie without spoiling, but a little bit about the movie. So if you want to check out, I understand. But I'm going to put an ad here first. Okay, hopefully the ad played. Now you can go. Thanks so much. All right, now getting into the review of the movie. Look, I love Borat. I thought Borat was great. My least favorite parts of Borat were the scripted parts of Borat. And I understand why they script parts of it. They did it with Bad Grandpa. Like, to do a prank movie, you do sort of have to fake some segments to get from A to B to have a plot. To make a plot movie, you have to then stage some things. You have to script some things to get there, or you have to go prank someone with the guise of making sure that they advance the plot. So it's a complicated thing where I'm looking at it from a technical perspective, and it's hard in sometimes with Borat, and I would say more in this movie, it felt like a lot more was planned. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that was my only real criticism of this movie. I wish he would have just gone out and done more bits, because the bits he does do are very funny. But I felt like a lot of it was just sort of the two characters improvising and trying to make an actual plot of this movie, which was not actually. The spin on that is the plot of the movie is actually pretty cute and fun, and I actually enjoyed it. I was surprised that the scripted portions of the movie were better than I think any of his other scripted portions before. So at the same time, though, seeing and expecting Borat, I kind of wanted more Borat doing Borat stuff. Now, the bits that they do, it really, the movie is pretty much they're scripting and connecting parts to get to segments that they've pranked people. And, look, the skeptic in me is like, really, was any of this real? It seems like some of it was, but then part of it's like, still, I'm so used to the stuff now. I'm like, how is anyone buying this? It's like, what? And you realize, no, there are some people who probably don't even know who Borat is or cares anymore. It was what? It's 2006, so it was like 14 years ago. Enough time has passed, or he's not so popular, where I could see him maybe sneaking back in. And Borat does show up. He does dress up as Borat for portions of the movie, but he does play some other characters. And some of those characters didn't really feel like Borat. I think he got, especially the one where he goes up and sings, which was we talked about that. It's out there. It leaked. I know none of us knew when I reported it. I had no idea that was a Borat movie. And seeing that bit play out then and even before, it doesn't feel like a Borat character, to be perfectly honest. It feels like he just had a bit that he fit in there. So that's the struggle I have with the movie. I enjoyed it. I laughed. There are some very funny bits that I don't want to spoil. There's an ending with Rudy Giuliani. That's interesting. Again, I don't want to spoil it. It's interesting, but I'm like, it's clearly edited a lot to make it even worse than I think I thought maybe it could have been. But I'll leave that up to your speculation and how it all goes down. But that's the thing. The movie is highly edited, and it felt very scripted to get the pieces across. That said, the scripted portions, I didn't mind them. I enjoyed it. There is an arc to the movie. This one particularly, and an ending that is rather amusing that I did enjoy overall of the movie. I think some critics will definitely not like the political leanings. Like, he's definitely being sarcastic and satirizing our president, and that didn't bother me. I'm sure it'll bother some people. Some people will be annoyed by Sacha Baron Cohen getting so political, but I mean, if you've ever watched him, that's always what he's done. But is this as good as some of the best segments on What Is America or the original Borat? No. Is it fun and worthy of an Amazon Prime streaming or go and enjoy it at a drive-in? Absolutely. It's good. It's just not great in my mind. And I have to say, Seth Rogen, who I credit and think is very funny, who wrote for a lot of the Borat for Ali G and stuff, he sent out a tweet like, "Oh my God, I've seen this movie 11 times. It's the funniest movie I've seen in ages, blah, 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 blah." And he overhyped it for me. He definitely overhyped it for me, because when I saw him do it, I trust him. I think he's funny. He has a good sense of humor. And when he did that, he did overhype it for me. So I think I want to come in and just tamper your expectations a bit before you go enjoy it. I think some people won't like it. Some people are going to say it's not funny. Some people are going to say it's too political. I enjoyed it. But again, like I said, I didn't think it was fantastic. I think there are some strong messages. The poster here is pretty epic. I meant to show it. Did I already pull it? Oh, here it is. I mean, this is what you're in for. But he's there's a whole segment where he goes. It's in the trailer, so I'm not really spoiling. But there's a segment where he goes into a cabin during quarantine to stay with like these conspiracy theorists, I guess is how they label them. Yeah, they are. But it's like suddenly the whole cabin is GoPro'd and stuff, and I'm just like, how? Look, if that was real, kudos. But it was so like there was so much like what that it almost became too unbelievable. It's a problem with a lot of pranks. Like, I got to do some pranks over at break.com, and I didn't fake any pranks. We would always make sure we didn't fake pranks. The only thing that we would do behind the scenes was once we got the reaction, we would go back and say, great, do you mind doing that one more time? And then I would sort of, just to get some other coverage of it. So the prank was legit. The people were legit freaked out, but then I would try and get some more out of it once they sort of knew, or like, hey, can you just look normal? And I'd get some B-roll to sort of punch in. David Blaine is notorious for this one too. Like, he would levitate off the ground, and they would film the reactions. But then the studio was like, can we actually put him on some strings and levitate him greater? And that shot where he would levitate, they one up the production value of it. But was he actually doing a levitation trick in front of people? Yes. Were those real reactions? Yes. But when we saw it on TV, was it real? No. And so that's what you got to keep in mind with editing and production. Like, there's a lot of trickery going on, and it's hard for me as a producer and knowing these prank stuff. It's hard to really tell what's real, and some of it may be so good and real that I'm just like that. It's still the skeptic in me is that's impossible. So that's my biggest problem with Borat. So I'm curious what you guys will think. Check it out. I definitely think it's worth an Amazon Prime stream or drive and watch. Absolutely. There's not much else out there, especially the competition is slim. And it is nice to see the character back. I do enjoy the character of Borat. I think it's funny. It's definitely more political, but be warned. But tell me what you think down in the comments below. Are you going to check it out? Are you excited for it? Don't forget, we're going to be here at the Swap Shop this Thursday. If you're in the Tampa area, hit me up. Let me know. Would love to see you there. Bring a Borat costume. You could win a $1,000 Amazon gift card, so stay tuned. And tell me what your thoughts are down below, your excitement level. What was your favorite Ali G segment or movie? I want to hear that too. Keep the engagement going. Smash that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more.